Welcome back to my series, Dance Mums Unedited. This is the show where I discuss production notes written by actual producers of Dance Mums. It shows us behind the scenes information that we don't get to see in the episodes themselves. Today, we're looking at Season 5, Episode 4. As always, there will be a link in the description box below which will take you to a PDF of these notes so you can read through them for yourselves. Because there was more to this episode than the producers cared to show. Just like we see in the episode itself, the week begins with the Frasers talking to Abby at the front desk about the deteriorating health of Nia's grandfather. Abby comforts Nia with a hug. During their talk, the team enters the studio, including Sarah and Christy Hunt, much to Abby's confusion. As Nia enters the den, the girls and mums express their sympathies and try to console Nia. Christy, Sarah, Jess and Jojo follow them into the den. Jojo is waving around a bright gift bag, obviously intended for Abby. Right before Pyramid, Abby tells Sarah and Jojo that like in an audition, only one girl would get a call back. Christy accepts that Abby won't be using Sarah this week, saying that Jojo only has a limited time to utilise Abby's training. The pair exit the studio and Jojo gives Abby her gift. Abby opens it to find a bracelet with a bow on it. Abby tells her that she doesn't need another bow to remind her of Jojo, and tells her that the negatives of having her on the team outweigh the positives. She proceeds to list Jojo's behavioural flaws. Only Abby would respond this way to receiving a gift. Jess asks if she and Jojo will join the team on their LA trip, and Abby replies, no, not right now. Jess asks the elite girls if they're scared of auditions. This is when Kira mocks Jojo's speech impediment, mimicking her asking for clothes to be sent to her at the ALDC. The mums throw Jess under the bus for not attending classes on Monday. Kira says that Kalani told Jojo about the classes, but that Jojo chose not to attend because she didn't want to go. Abby tells the team that she will be auditioning for a new team member when they arrive in LA. She then begins the pyramid. When she gets to Jojo, she declares that her photo is horrible and shouldn't be used. Jojo asks if her being on the pyramid means she is part of the team, but Abby tells her no. Kira is upset that Jojo is higher than Kalani, using their scores to defend herself. Abby actually agrees with her and switches Jojo and Kalani's headshots around. When Mackenzie is revealed at the top of the pyramid, Abby tells her that she doesn't really know why she won last week. As she assigns the routines, she tells them that they will be competing in Virginia, which is somewhere that the ALDC is apparently not well liked. Abby tells Kendall that if she cries this week, she will lose her solo. Jojo's solo is based on The Devil Wears Prada, and Abby says that her gift was adorable, but not Prada. Jess asks what she can do to stay on the team, and Abby tells her that this will be Jojo's last hurrah with the elites. Jill tells Abby that despite the fact that Chloe was too busy with school to rehearse for most of last year, Chloe is now in LA. Abby scolds her for mentioning Chloe's name in the studio. As the mums go upstairs, Jess enters with 3 gift bags. Since there are 4 mums, Jill doesn't get one. She is offended when Jess says that her gift will be Kendall coming in second to Jojo. The mums agree that Nia didn't deserve to be at the bottom of the pyramid. Kira brings up Jojo's phone call where she tried to get free clothing sent to her because she is at the ALDC. She maintains that she wasn't making fun of Jojo in Pyramid, but was imitating her. The mums talk about Chloe being in LA, and Jess declares that Chloe's days in the spotlight are numbered, so she must be taking advantage of it while she still can. Jess then tries to rile Holly up by pointing out that Nia doesn't have a solo this week. The girls then start learning their solos. During Kendall's rehearsal, Abby leaves Gianna in charge, and instead works with Maddie on her solo. Melissa thinks that Jojo and Kendall were picked for solos so that they could have a showdown storyline. Melissa opens her gift from Jess, which is revealed to be a blonde wig. Holly's gift is a pacifier, which Jess tells her to stick in her mouth, saying that she is a baby. Kira's gift is a gold medal and a trophy, which Jess says is for her to cherish even when Kalani doesn't win. Jill is upset that she didn't get a gift at all. Melissa realises that the wig is supposed to be a seer wig, and Jess says that it's because Melissa wants to be just like Maddie. Abby calls the mums into the studio and talks about the girls' education. She says that they have bad English etiquette and wants to make sure that their school schedules will be transferred to LA. She then asks all the mums to do their best Nora Desmond washed up diva look, and they strut across the studio, much to the amusement of the girls. Unfortunately, it seems that we're missing the notes for the second rehearsal day. During the final day of rehearsal, Jess brags about JoJo's solo. Holly says that she was surprised by how much she liked her solo from last week, but isn't fond of this week's solo. Discussing LA, Kira says that it is in Abby's best financial interests to find work for all the kids. Holly says that she can't wait around for Abby to secure work for Nia, wanting to take the trip into her own hands. Jess and Holly tell Kira that if they book lucrative gigs that Abby can attach her name to, Abby won't be angry at the mums for booking things behind her back. While the girls rehearse with Gianna, Jojo asks if she can rehearse with the rest of the girls. Gianna agrees, and the mums begin speculating about whether or not Jojo will be in the group. Jess asks the mums to describe how the team works. Melissa reveals that there is a swearing fine that Jess owes to Abby. Jess points out that all the mums swear, but the mums say that they don't do it in front of the kids or in front of Abby. Melissa says that swearing is trashy and declares that the F word costs $500. While it says $500 here, they later talk about her owing $50, so hopefully this is just a typo. Kira makes a jab at Christy, saying that she must be broke. Apparently Melissa has an obvious distaste for Christy and the way that she left the team. She says that she doesn't follow her on social media because it's not her concern. Abby tells Jojo that her solo is called Fashion Victim, saying that it is meant to be an insulting nod to the way that Jess dresses her. When Jess hears that Jojo's solo is named after her fashion choices, Jess declares that Abby should give her ALDC gear. Melissa points out the socks that Abby is wearing, and Jess claims that she's the fashion victim. Kira adds that it looks like she has 3 ankles. Holly tells Jess that while Abby teaches the girls, the mums often have to teach new mums things like contracts and how to handle talking to Abby. On the bus, Abby asks geography questions. She tells the girls to come up with the name for the group dance, which ends up being Frozen Together. Abby tells Jess to pay money for swearing, but Jess refuses to pay, saying that others have sworn at her. Abby tells her that she should get off the bus then. Abby tells Jojo that her dance knowledge is lacking. She then tells Kendall that if her mum isn't at the competition, then her solo will be pulled. In the green room, Abby reveals that Maddie has already booked a guest role in LA on the TV show Austin and Ally. Holly and Jill point out that Maddie has had more opportunities than anyone. Abby retorts by blaming Melissa for Nia and Kendall not getting work. She claims that Melissa isn't a team player and does whatever it takes to get ahead. She claims that Melissa refused to tell Jill and Holly about opportunities that Maddie had to pass up, and also didn't tell them how she left her first husband. She tells Melissa that if something comes up that Maddie can't do, she had better give it to one of the other girls. Holly asks if the mums are allowed to seek out opportunities for their kids in LA. Despite what she has said previously, Abby declares that the mums should seek out and pursue every possible opportunity. Jess's swear debt is brought up again, and Jess says that she doesn't have a contract, so she won't be paying. Abby says that all the mums should jump on social media and tell everyone that Jess is cheap. Kira accuses Jess of not being a team player, and Melissa calls Jojo's attitude rude. Abby says that Jojo was only here because Abby feels sorry for her. She says that it's pathetic that she cares more about Jojo's speech impediment than her own mother does. The mums say that Jess is delusional for thinking that Jojo was special. As things begin to calm down, Holly remarks that she is surprised and impressed that Abby called out Melissa's selfishness. The girls get ready, and Jojo calls out across the room. This is when Abby yells that she has learned nothing. When Kendall rehearses her solo, Abby becomes frustrated. She says that Kendall can't remember to say yes instead of yeah, so why would she remember the dance? It's nothing less than cruel for adults to embarrass children for not tiptoeing around their pet peeves. Holly and Nia get a call from Nia's grandfather. As she talks to him, he sounds better than he has been in weeks. Maddie and Kendall thank Abby for the solos, and a second later Jojo also says thank you. Abby says it sounds like it was an afterthought on Jojo's part. Backstage, Kendall says that she is confident, saying that she has experience being a mean girl and is great at flirting. I sincerely hope she's referring to the magazine cover when she says that she's experienced in being mean. Maddie performs her solo first. She then steps off stage and gives Kendall a pep talk, even though she knows Kendall hates pep talks. During Kendall's performance, she stumbles at one point. Backstage, Kalani tells her that it worked in the context of the piece. JoJo warms up backstage, but the other girls have already left her. During JoJo's solo, a ribbon flies off her skirt and lands on stage. She notices that Abby didn't give her a high clap at the end of the routine, like she did for Maddie and Kendall. Then the 3 solos are performed again for the cameras. I think this is the first time in the production notes that it has been outright stated that the girls perform a second time for the cameras. Gianna reveals that Kendall and Maddie will be in the teen division, much to the fury of Jill and Melissa. Abby thinks that the chances of them winning before heading to LA is unlikely. The mums return to the green room without Jess or JoJo, and Melissa says that she has never seen someone so arrogant. Jill and Holly think that Abby is on board with the Siwas being here. Melissa says that Kendall is a much better dancer than JoJo, who is only here for the attention. Kira says that JoJo introduces rude and obnoxious behaviour to the team dynamic. Jess is secretly listening to the mums' conversation and barges in, arguing with them. The mums stand their ground. Melissa and Jill call out JoJo for crying, when Jess had berated their kids for showing emotion. Holly thinks that she is entitled. Kira says that JoJo's personality is a reflection of bad parenting. Holly argues with this last point, saying that JoJo isn't a bad kid, but her behaviour is unacceptable. Abby enters, and the mums complain that Abby's open call audition in LA will likely just include the same kids that came to other auditions that she has held in the past. Abby says that it's good publicity and that the new studio is a huge financial risk for her. The girls discuss their solos as they prepare for the group dance. JoJo thinks that she nailed it, and Kendall says that she did well. At first, she was apparently worried that there wouldn't be a male judge for her to flirt with. Abby critiques the girls, saying that doing Sia's choreography has messed with Maddie's technique. She corrects JoJo before catching herself giving away her secrets to someone who isn't part of her studio. Jess and JoJo suggest that JoJo can replace Nia in the group dance and pull the group into the junior category. Holly reminds them of Nia's difficult week with her grandfather, and Jess says that she was just looking out for the team. Abby seems to consider it, but chooses not to pull Nia. The girls get their picture taken in front of the ALDC sign. JoJo attempts to jump in too, but Jill tells her to get out. Backstage, JoJo shouts words of encouragement, but she is largely ignored. The group is also performed twice. After awards, Holly expresses how rude it was for Jess to suggest pulling Nia from the routine. Jess says that given the fact they came second, it may not have been a bad idea. Abby enters, telling JoJo that she has trouble picking up the choreography. Abby says that she is willing to represent JoJo as her manager, but she will not be part of the ALDC team. Everyone leaves the room but Jess and JoJo. JoJo begins to cry, assuring her mum that they are happy tears. Jess says that Abby must see a lot of herself in JoJo. They both agree that they want to go to LA next week. And with that, we've reached the end of episode 4. Are you surprised by how everyone treated Jess and JoJo? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!